Good day, everyone, especially to my students in the College of Education. I hope you are well, particularly for this week. For this week, we are supposed to have our virtual meeting, but because of the different workloads that I need to attend for this week, I am creating this recorded presentation for me to discuss the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers, particularly para karong simanahang virtual meeting nato. So once again, good day everyone. As I've mentioned, I will be discussing the essential document, particularly the. So this presentation is entitled "Upholding Professionalism and Integrity in Education." Essentially, this is very important for you because, as I've mentioned during our lecture on general ethics, that ethics is character formation, character development. So you have to understand that the very character that you will be forming is the character of an educator, and you have to know how this character has to be performed so that by understanding and seeing the code of ethics for professional teachers, we will not only impart knowledge but also serve as role models. So, understanding this code will deeply help us build the character and navigate our professional conduct again with honor and accountability. So, let's start. The code of ethics serves as our moral compass in the profession because it defines the appropriate behavior in our relationship with other people. Especially when we say teaching, it is not a profession that you only encounter the non-living things, no? Unlike the other professions such as the engineers, the veterinarians, they may be dealing with non-human things, no? Such as for engineers, they will deal with their blueprints. For the veterinarians, they will be dealing with the animals. But for us teachers, we are dealing with our learners. We are dealing with our colleagues. Kinsa ni atong colleagues, these are our co-teachers, our administrations, the principal, the supervisor, as well as the community who help shape the learners, particularly the parents, no? So it helps define, as I've mentioned, it helps define actions that are very appropriate, very relevant to who we are in relating to these individuals. And so by adhering to this code, we help ensure a teaching environment that is based on respect, fairness, and dedication that will bring forth national development. So, as teachers, you are expected to be teachers. So, this code of ethics will help us define what it truly means to be a teacher, to be a licensed professional teacher. So, the objectives of this presentation that I'll be sharing to you would be three. The first one is to help us understand the key provisions of the code. When we say key provisions, what are the essential things that we need to understand about who a teacher must be? Another thing, by understanding who a teacher is, then we can recognize our responsibility as professional teachers because after knowing, wisdom followed next. No? After understanding what things are, then we are now capable of applying or using the things according to their purpose. That's why the third objective is now more on application. We will be applying ethical principles consistently in our professional action. So these objectives will guide our discussion through each article of the code. Let's start with the Article 1, or the scope and limitation of the Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher. So in Article 1, it clearly clarifies that the code is only applicable to licensed teachers in the Philippines. See, it is very important that before the AITA maka-follow sa code of ethics for professional teacher, we need to satisfy first the minimum requirement to be a teacher in the Philippines, and that is to be a license. That is to pass the board exam. So I want you to reflect on that. Are you capable of passing the board exam? Makapasar ba ta sa board exam? Because sometimes it's this minimum requirement that we are incapable of attaining. We are incapable of preparing. Ano man kay makalimtan man nato. So my dear teachers, my dear future teachers, please be reminded that according to the Article 1 scope and limitation, before you introduce yourself to be part of this profession, you need to pass first the licensure examination. So, whether you teach in public or private institution, the standard and expectation set forth in this code is applied to you. After all, this code is a binding professional agreement that both guides our behavior and practice. So, what it means to be a teacher, it's all found in this code. Okay, let's continue. Now, let's move on to Article 2, which is entitled The Teacher and the State. So, as a teacher, we are here to serve the state. We are here to serve the nation. And by doing so, we are actually upholding the Constitution. We are tasked with promoting nationalism, development, and civic responsibility. That is why it's very important for us that we nurture and foster good citizenship, patriotism, and respect for the rule of law among our students, particularly in the school setting. We must also support national programs as well as initiatives aligned with our educational agencies, no? Particularly the Department of Education that governs the basic education, and at the same time, the Commission on Higher Education for the higher form of learning. So, as teachers, we are bound to help the nation improve the quality and status of our nation. And we can only do that when we serve our students through teaching them the proper lessons, teaching them the necessary competencies, the necessary skills that they need to acquire. And not only that, to also foster the important attitude, the important character. After all, mauna ang lintunganay, mauna ang padulngan, mauna ang rason nga nung naa ang eskwelahan aron ta makatun. Ang pagkatun, it's not just all about putting something on our brain, but also developing our heart. The heart to serve, the heart to share, and the heart to have a good relationship with other individuals. Let's continue for Article 3 of the Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher. It focuses now on the relationship of on our relationship as teachers to the community. Okay? So our influence actually extends beyond the classroom. Meaning to say, the coverage of our ability to teach is not only content inside the classroom. We must build, therefore, harmonious relationship with our community, with the parents of our learners, with the different professionals who, in some way or another, will be helping us. And so it's very important also to engage ourselves with the local stakeholders. So by collaborating with parents, barangay officials, and other community leaders, we create a supportive learning environment that enriches students' outcomes and community welfare. See, as I've mentioned before, becoming a teacher, you don't only implant knowledge on the brain, no, on the mind of our students. More than that, we also inculcate important values that are basically rooted on our ability to relate with each other, no? Particularly those who are in need. Also, to those who can help us do our task effectively as teachers. Because at the end of the day, in order for us to raise the child, to raise our learners with holistic development, we need the whole community.